Hello, friends and fellow Disney fans. Welcome back to the Jamie Thomas Show. My name's Brad.
And I'm Jamie.
And today we are talking about your must-dos or planning your perfect day at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So like we just said, today we are talking about the must-dos at Hollywood Studios, how to have the perfect day or our perfect day, and accomplishing everything you kind of want to do in a day. Before we get into all that, like we just said, this is the Jamie Thomas Show, and my wife Jamie is a travel agent who specializes in Disney vacations.
That's right. I'm here to help you get the most out of your next Disney vacation. So on our channel, we post tons of tips, tricks, and just Disney planning content.
So if that sounds like something that could help you, I want to encourage you, help the channel. Take a moment, like, subscribe, hit that little bell button so you get notifications whenever we post new content, and leave us a comment letting us know what you think are the must-dos at Hollywood Studios.
That's right. And if you are interested in planning your Disney vacation with me, all of my contact information is in the description below.
So our perfect day at Hollywood Studios, what are the must-dos? Our perfect day actually starts before we ever get to the park. At 7 a.m., boarding crews open up for Rise of the Resistance. That means you've got to get on your app before 7 a.m. so that at the stroke of 7, even a couple seconds before, you are on getting yourself effectively a ticket for that ride.
Yeah, getting in the virtual queue. And what the virtual queue does is it gives you a return time so you don't have to stand in the line all day. So you get basically a return time, you go there to the ride, go do other stuff until you're ready. You could even, wait and not even go to the park until your boarding time really comes
You could
up.
do that, but that wouldn't be our perfect day.
Nope.
So having secured our virtual queue spot in the line, we head to the parks for rope drop so that we can hit up Toy Story Land right away.
That's right. We'd head over to Slinky Dog ride, and we would probably do that first.
Yes,
okay?
This queue gets huge. If you haven't gotten yourself a fast pass, really the only way you're going to get on it is if you hit it first thing in the morning. So we're hitting that early and often. Again, this is our perfect day. Don't know exactly what fast passes we've acquired or whatnot, but at this point,
if there is even fast
if there
passes.
is, and right now there aren't, I'm heading over to Toy Story Mania. Personally, this is actually one of my favorite rides in all 4 parks. It might be my favorite attraction at Hollywood Studios, even now with everything with Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway and all the Star Wars stuff. I didn't pronounce it right, but you know what I mean. I love Toy Story Mania. It's so much fun. It's competitive. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is really fun. And we have a fun time as a family trying to beat each other's scores and see who comes in first. Usually it's you.
I was about to say, it's you guys trying to beat my score.
Yeah. That's probably why it's your favorite.
It is. So after we're done at Toy Story Mania, we are heading through the entrance to Galaxy's Edge over to Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run.
That's right. And so we'd go and do that. Make sure to request to be the pilot because that's what our family does.
Positions suck.
Yeah, you have the gunner and then the engineer, and basically it's just pressing
buttons. You press
buttons.
a button when it tells you to, and that's it.
Yeah, so we usually let our kids drive the ship because we think it's really funny to watch them crash, and then we are the gunners and engineers.
That's what happens.
Yeah. After we do the Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon ride, we will head over to the Trolley Car Cafe because I'm going to get my Starbucks fix. And while we are in line there, we are also going to grab a few of the carrot cake cookies because they are huge and they are really delicious, aren't they? I don't even really like carrot cake, but I love those.
Now this is right by Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. At this point, hopefully if Fast Passes were back, we'd have one, or we're going to ride that ride now.
Once we are done that ride, we are going to head back to Galaxy's Edge because it's super close anyway. And we are going to go to Oga's Cantina, grab a drink there, and then after that, because it's our perfect day, we are going to go to Savi's workshop and build a lightsaber. So fun, hey?
Now we're getting into kind of the experiential side of Galaxy's Edge. Oga's Cantina is a fantastic experience, feeling like you've really stepped into the world of Star Wars. If you've watched any of the movies, any of the television shows, so many times where characters end up in a bar on a planet or a restaurant on a planet, and this really feels like you are experiencing that. Then you head over to build yourself a lightsaber or a droid. Now, these get a little bit expensive. Both are really, really fun. I actually kind of prefer building a droid. My kids would say, "You're crazy, Dad. Build a lightsaber."
Well, I feel like the droid one isn't as much of an experience. The lightsaber one is more of kind of like a show with it, where the droid one is, you know, it's a little quicker and it's not as much of a show. It's kind of like an assembly line. You assemble your parts, but I feel like the droid you're gonna play with a lot when you get home.
That was the thing. What we've noticed is we've played more with the droids than we ever did with the lightsabers, and that's saying something because I have two 9-year-old boys that want to fight.
Okay.
So at this point now, we are heading out of Galaxy's Edge, past Rise of the Resistance, assuming that our return time for that ride isn't at this time. And I'm going to hit up, basically, there's 3 great attractions right in a row. And depending on how much time we have left in the day, I'd try and hit up all 3 of them if it worked out. But you have 3 things you can choose from. Muppet Vision 3D, which is always great, never has a lineup. You can walk right onto it. Star Tours, which now your lineups are diminishing more and more because everyone's going to Galaxy's Edge. Still a great attraction. And then, assuming it's open, depending on where we're at with COVID, the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. All 3 in a row.
But Brad, there's 4 attractions that you could really do. You could also, if you have a little princess, you could do Frozen the sing-along.
That's true. And also very fun experience, quite interactive and
funny.
They have the hosts comedians. Are fantastic.
Yeah. At about this time, we're starting to get a little bit hungry. We're maybe wanting to get out of, the heat, or even just avoid the crowds because the parks has filled up. So we tend to like to do our sit-down meal at 3 of the restaurants. Not all together, but one of the 3. These are our top favorites for Hollywood Studios. We love Mama Melrose because it is Italian food, and you really can't go wrong with Italian food. We love it. And then 50s Prime Time, which is a super fun restaurant, a 50s theme, and you're kind of a part of the family. And the waiters kind of razz you a little bit. They tell you, get your elbows off the table. Make sure to eat your green beans. We actually took your parents, and they absolutely loved it. They kept on going, "Oh, that's something in my kitchen." When I was growing up as a kid.
We had that TV.
Yeah, so it was really fun to kind of see that atmosphere. And the best part about that restaurant is the peanut butter and jelly milkshake.
So good.
So good. And even if you're not sitting down there, you can go up to the bar and order it to go. So that's a little tip if you want to try it. But it honestly is worth dining in for it. And our 3rd favorite restaurant is the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. And this one's a really fun atmosphere too.
Very fun. Similarly themed to 50s Prime Time. You feel like you're in an old car at a drive-in theater, and waiters and waitresses bring up your food to your car. It's quite cool.
It has good burgers. And
I have to say
I was just going to say that one books up so quick too because there's kind of limited seating capacity. So I would say that's one of the most popular restaurants. So I
would say of the 3, the easiest to get into is Mama Melrose. And ironically for me, that's actually of the 3 my favorite food. But it is the least themed or just less experiential, but fantastic Italian food. In fact, it's my favorite restaurant in this park.
And one little tip is back when they did have Fantasmic going on, they did have dining packages that you could book that would give you priority seating to Fantasmic. And those were usually for like if you were eating around the lunchtime, to try and get people to eat earlier in the day, right? So if that was available, we would have probably booked that so we could get like our bonus return
if it's our must-do, we're doing that because we're getting our food at one of our restaurants restaurants that we like, and then we can go to Fantasmic, but we don't have to line up and wait. We can do some rides while everyone else is lining up, and then use effectively our fast passes to get priority seating.
Exactly. So right after we eat, then we'd probably head up to the area where Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah.
And
Rock and Roller Coaster.
Hopefully
we have fast passes for one or both of these, because it does get a little long, but those are both rides very much worth doing.
Yeah.
At Hollywood Studios, you do have evening shows. Obviously, like we had just mentioned, there was Fantasmic. If you've never done it before, certainly worth seeing. I have found, though, that the special timed shows that are there for just a season are actually those shows I prefer. Like, so they were doing a Star Wars fireworks spectacular that I actually preferred over Fantasmic. It's just awesome. At Christmas time, they do a Christmas one that I think is breathtaking.
Yeah. So whatever evening show is happening at the moment, we would probably go start getting ready for. Usually you can't hit up both shows in the same night. You're going to miss part of one. So we usually would just pick one and kind of camp out for a good spot. Now, note that during COVID right now, there is no evening shows because of social distancing.
But I think they will be returning.
Yeah, they absolutely probably will be returning.
And if you've never seen Fantasmic before, I think it's important you do see it. So it would be a must do, but we've already seen it. We've seen it several times. If you've been before, I think the must do is actually whatever fireworks show is on at the time in front of the Mann's Chinese Theater. That's the one I would see, because I like everything I've seen there. Well,
and I think if you're coming from the West Coast too, and you're used to going to Disneyland,
Fantasmic you've seen.
Fantasmic, I do think is better at Disneyland.
It is.
So,
it's phenomenal. It's much better.
It is. So if you're kind of, trying to decide which evening show you're going to go to, and you've already seen Fantasmic at Disneyland, then I would probably do the other show.
And the other thing that's nice is because it's a shorter show, usually closer to the later part of the evening, and it doesn't take up as much time. You can actually get in a few late rides. You can go and do the one we always try and do right before or after the show is Toy Story Mania again, and it's right close to that spot. That's I don't know. I prefer that.
Well, that's right. And we would actually go back and do Slinky Dog too, because it is so much better at night.
All of Toy Story Land at night is remarkable.
Yeah, it is. And Slinky Dog lights up like crazy, so it's so much more fun to ride at night.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that is our list of must-dos at Hollywood Studio, or what our perfect day would look like. If you want to have a day like this and you want some help planning your next Disney vacation, why not contact my wife, Jamie? She is a travel agent who specializes in Disney vacations. She will help you have the most magical vacation possible, and best of all, her services are completely free.
That's right. And when you book with me, actually, I do send you park itineraries. So that is kind of like a list of what to do at what times to help you avoid the most crowds. And I also include my favorite snacks in there. So it's just to help you get the most out of your trip. And I make sure to update those to whatever kind of is going on. So right now there's no fireworks and parades during COVID, but once that comes back, I'll make sure to add that to my itinerary, so you're not missing out on any of the highlights. So if you are interested in a Disney vacation, you can contact me via email, jamie@clickthemouse.ca, or through the website, www.clickthemouse.ca/Jamie. And make sure to put on your quote form that you are requesting me, or that you found us through YouTube, and then I'll be able to work with you.
Yeah, and we just love bringing you this content every single week. If this helped you in any way or just brought you some Disney magic, take a moment, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know, what is your favorite activity, ride, experience at Hollywood Studios. We'd love to hear from you.
So thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.